What is going on, everyone? It is day 16 of training camp for the Houston Texans and day 2 of joint practices with the Miami Dolphins. It was exciting to see the Houston Texans go against another NFL defense and offense. We have some breaking news in regards to who is going to be the starting quarterback this Saturday against the Miami Dolphins. But before we get into that, guys, I was at training camp today. Let me know if you guys were there also, and make sure you guys are following me throughout the rest of training camp. Follow my Twitter, Instagram, TikTok for the latest Houston Texans news, rumors, and updates. And if you are new here to the channel, welcome. I drop daily Houston Texans content. We just hit 7K on the channel, trying to hit 10K by the end of the season. Please help me get there, and thank you guys so much for the continued and endless support. Now, the quotes that we are going to be reading today are from Brooks Cabina, DJ Bieniemy, as always, my guy Cody Stutes. They all do a fantastic job covering the Houston Texans. Now, let's see how day 16 of training camp went for the squad. Now, this is from our guy DJ Bieniemy. DeMeco Ryan said C.J. Stroud will start against the Miami Dolphins in the second preseason game. He also mentioned that the Houston Texans players will all be playing. So it will be the first time we see rookie quarterback C.J. Stroud behind the Houston Texans starting offensive line, which consists of Laramie Tunsil, Kenyon Green, rookie Juice Scruggs, Shaq Mason, and George Fant. It would have been Titus Howard, but as we all know, he broke his hand in practice a couple of days ago. He will also have number 31 Damian Pierce toting the rock for him. Man, I am excited to see what C.J. Stroud does against the Miami Dolphins, right? After a sour taste in our mouths, we definitely want to see C.J. Stroud throw the ball more than 4 times versus the Patriots. He also had that ugly interception. We are looking for a bounce back game from C.J. Stroud and kind of a statement game. Let the fans know that you are indeed not a bust, because he has been labeled that ever since last Thursday's game. The amount of overreactions to C.J. Stroud's performance versus the Patriots, man, has been crazy. But you silence all those critics with a solid game against the Miami Dolphins. Now, I would love to see C.J. Stroud for a quarter and a half. Usually now with only three preseason games, Week 2 is usually where you try to get all of your starters involved. There's a little bit more game planning into this game. So I'm excited to see what this Houston Texans first string offense can do against the Miami Dolphins. Now we're going to continue with DJ Bieniemy as he talks about how joint practices went today. Early through joint practices through 2 team periods, the Texans offense has been up and down. Flashes of good C.J. Stroud throws to Nico Collins paired with a couple good runs by Damian Pierce and Singletary, but there have been a few too many sacks and Stroud holding the ball a tick too long. Yeah, it wasn't the day for this offense. The Houston Texans didn't get shut down. They were able to move the ball in some team situations, and it started with the Texans wide receivers going against the Dolphins cornerbacks, and that was a very fun matchup to see. It was happening right in front of my section. We saw Tank Dell just absolutely break a Dolphin, created so much separation, and the crowd erupted. I really think Tank Dell is going to be the number 1 wide receiver for the Houston Texans. Every time he is out there, he gets the ball. They use him with so much pre-snap motion. They had him on the right side, brought him all the way to the left, and guess who got the ball in open space? Tank Dell. The Houston Texans are utilizing that athleticism, and every single day, number 13 is making a flash play for the Houston Texans. Man, shout out to the rookie. If you have a chance to bet on him for Offensive Rookie of the Year, you make sure you go ahead and do that. There was another nice reps by Nico Collins. He had a one-on-one deep touchdown pass from C.J. Stroud. It was on the fans' left sideline. Crowd goes absolutely insane. And that's what you want to see from your third-year wide receiver, Nico Collins. There is so much question surrounding him. Are you going to emerge as the number 1 option for this Houston Texans team, or are you going to be just another wide receiver in the room? I'm excited, man. This preseason against the Miami Dolphins, it might get cheapy. Once again, these guys were going at it. The offensive line today, it struggled. It did. And it had C.J. Stroud looking flustered. Kenyon Green, we shouted him out in last night's live, did not have a very good practice today, was up and down, and the down was towards the end, which was team situations. And George Fant, right tackle, just continues to be an issue and gets highlighted every single training camp practice. The right side of the defense was consistently in CJ Stroud's face. It caused him to throw an interception late in the game to the Dolphins safety. CJ Stroud, he had some moments, but it definitely wasn't horrible. The offense just could not move the ball against the Miami Dolphins. Now we go to my guy Cody Stutes, and every single training camp he drops 11 observations. You guys go ahead and check that out. Cody Stutes does a fantastic job. That is my guy. The day was won overall by the Dolphins. Their offense wasn't great, but moved the ball pretty well. Their defense gave the Texans fits all day. It was nothing like the previous day when the Texans were able to bounce back from a bad stretch. Once the team period started, it was all Dolphins usually. Now, some fans might overreact to today's not-so-good performance, but let's not forget what this Miami Dolphins team is. It is a team that has playoff aspirations. They almost made the playoffs last year. A fantastic head coach, a great receiving core, which didn't have Jalen Waddle these past 2 days, a very solid defense, and the Houston Texans, the fact that they were able to stick with them and give them some fits. I think it is a win for this Houston Texans team and organization, man. When you go against one of the best teams in the AFC, if you want to say NFL, you can. And the fact that you didn't get absolutely obliterated both days is a good sign for this Houston Texans team. Now let's move to some guys who stood out on the defensive side for the Houston Texans, because as we know, it was a very up and down day. This is from Cole Thompson. Christian Harris is ready for Saturday. Texans linebacker wraps up Dolphins Raheem Mostert, then proceeds to have a few words. Rest of the defense comes to the huddle to break it up. Day 3 of scuffling for number 48. Is Christian Harris going to be the heart and soul of this Houston Texans defense? Every single day, he is making a play. He had a pick 6 yesterday. He looked fantastic today. Number 48 is making a name for himself, guys. I love to know that if he can be our linebacker of the Houston Texans' future. Another player that stood out was the 3rd overall pick in last year's draft, Derek Stingley. This is from DJ Bieniemy. Tua to Chosen was broken up over the middle by Derek Stingley. A nice pass breakup there. And then this is from Aaron Wilson. Texans cornerback Derek Stingley, nice interception in one-on-one drills as he mirrored the route of the Dolphins wide receiver. Just ran the route for him, picked it off. It would have been a pick 6. Derek Stingley has been on it these past couple of days. Let's not forget, he wasn't targeted versus the New England Patriots. Derek Stingley had himself a fantastic day, man. And this was how training camp day 16, day 2 of joint practices went for the Houston Texans. I am so excited for this Saturday's preseason game. Let me know where you guys are going to watch it. And for more daily Houston Texans content, feel free to follow me for more. Go Texans. Have a very blessed day.